And we should officially be live. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a great stream for all of you. And for some of you watching around the world, you guys know we do a lot of things on here. But for today, let's put this over here. Today, we are officially going to be starting off this stream doing something amazing. I'm starting to think I'm going to do a character right now. For all of you watching around the world, don't forget to hit that like button. For the people here in the USA, everybody in Canada, everybody in Europe, also especially London. I know London likes this. They like this stick. For all of you around the world, even if you're in Germany, Italy, if you're in Brazil, Chile, if you're in Hawaii, wherever it is, Seattle, California, New York, Texas, shout out to Texas. If you guys are watching right now, today we're going to be doing something very special. If you haven't had a Cohiba, yes, if you haven't had a Cohiba stick before, I'm going to review it for all of you. We're also going to be pairing. Is a good whiskey going to be a great pairing with this? We're going to see. I do know that for all of you watching, I wanted to make something a little bit different for all of you. Today is one of my favorite days. Yes, today is officially Monday, April 21, 2025. It's about almost 7 o'clock. And for all of you watching, huge shout out to April. Huge shout out to Edgar in the chat room, and also huge shout out to everybody. Everybody's going to be commenting. If you comment down below, I will see your comments. And these streams, if you want a little bit of my attention while I'm doing this review, you can send a little comment in the chat room. Maybe I see it. Super chats are key. And for a lot of you watching, here we go. We're going to start to do this one. This is Cohiba, yes, the Cohiba Blue. We're talking about this now. Before we talk about this, I got some on the screen, some whiskeys on the screen, starting with Midcur's 10-year. We have a 9 Creek 10-year. I have an old elk here that we might use for the cocktail. And for all of you watching, I think we should start by showing you this stick. Here we go. So for a lot of you, there's some of you think this is Cuban, all right? It's been long ago that they stopped making any of these Cuban. Long time ago, I think it was they stopped doing that. I believe in early 2000s, about the mid 2000s. So you're not going to be able to see this anytime soon. It used to be Cuban, but the brand completely changed. And for anybody that goes to the USA, if you do buy these, it doesn't mean they're Cuban. Now, for some of you that want to know about this, you're looking at, I believe it's a Dominican filler, and most of the wrapper and everything else is, I believe, from Honduras. So it's going to be a little bit different than your normal standard stick. Let me just start by telling you there's a Robusto. Yes, there you go. That goes by size. And over here, let me just show you how beautiful it is. It's a beautiful presentation. Let me start by saying the reason why these are mainly in tubes, is so that you don't age these. So, let me say this. If any of you, especially Edgar Romeo, Chairman, good to see Edgar Romeo, if any of you put this in your cigar humidor, or if you put it anywhere to age this, you will not be aging this at all. The only way to age any of these sticks, you have to take them out of the tube. Reason why they did it this way, and most of the companies do it this way so that you don't have too much of a change in flavor, which is sometimes good and sometimes bad. Some of you want to age stick, you want to buy it in the year 2025, and you want to maybe have it in 10 more years, and you notice a little bit of a change on the sticks. But when it comes to this, you will not get much of a change in the stick just because you got almost no air going, barely any air going in there. You got no flow going into the tobacco. leaf and wrapper. So for some of you, I'm going to say this, if you ever buy any of these, let me say this, if you buy it in 2025, whatever batch you get in 2025, doesn't matter the company, it could be any other company. Most of the time, those flavors will hold for the next 10 years or so. For all of you watching, today's Monday. I know officially YouTube says, hey, don't stream on Monday or the weekends. Those are bad days. I know many of you are working, but we're still going to do this review. For all of you watching, tomorrow there's people going to rewatch this. I hope you have learned a little bit of something on this. We're going to light this up. Let me start opening this up. Now, here we go. Here's a presentation. Here is a presentation. I think the band's pretty ugly, but what am I going to say? I think it's pretty ugly. Looks hideous. Good looking stick though, right? Small little Robusto. And there you go. There it is. It. Oof. This smells. It smells real. Smells like mulch. Smells earthy. A little bit earthy, like mulch. Mulch and hay, that's what it smells like, mulch and hay. I'm going to cut this up, and for some of you watching, I'm just going to tell you how we're going to do it. We're going to start by cutting this over here, okay? Let's start by cutting this over here in a beautiful cutter. You can get these cutters whatever you want. I would recommend you to get this, a cutter like this. It's really nice to have. There's the brand, beautiful brand. Let's cut this up. First cut was horrible, but the second cut's pretty good. That's a good cut. I didn't want to cut it too much. And if you want to, make sure the cap, you see the cap right there? You don't want to cut under that, okay? Don't cut under that. Let's put this over here. So we're going to do officially, we're going to do a whiskey. Good to see our so to the chat room. We're going to do a whiskey. Let's see what kind of whiskey we're going to do. Are we going to be doing a whiskey, though? Let's see what kind of pairing. First off, I really want to say, I'm going to do the dry. I'm going to do the dry draw. Now, for some of you, if you do cut it, you can taste a little bit of flavors at times when you just do it without even smoking it up. Here we go. Let's do this Cohiba. Let's see how it tastes like. Ooh. Ooh. This is a lot of cedar wood, and also I'm getting like a little bit of pepper and cedar wood. So far, very earthy. It smells very earthy. How can I explain to you what earthy is? Earthy to me is like, you ever go to a barn, you ever go to like a horse barn, and sometimes you smell some of the mulch and some of the barn. That to me is earthy. I'm gonna say this. It is very a little bit. It's a little bit spicy. I'm already telling you ahead of time. A little bit spicy. When I mean spicy, maybe we're gonna see now. Last time I had this was probably last year. I don't tend to buy these because it's kind of pointless. I just don't find a fascination with this, but I'm going to tell you ahead of time. We're going to review it. I'm going to tell you what I think of this. Is it worth your money? And for all of you, here we go. Let's put this aside. Let's put that aside. And what I'm going to do is, I'm thinking about doing a cocktail. But you know what? We're going to start off by doing, let's start by doing a drink. And what kind of drink am I going to do? Well, I was kind of thinking about doing this. Now this is a little bit sweet. This Garrison Brothers Guadalupe has a little bit of fruity note on here. This is a pork cast finish. And for all of you, 107, I think pretty good for pairing it up with this. Pretty good. So you know what? I think we're going to do that. Let me take this out of the screen. I was going to do this, but now maybe I'm not going to do it. Maybe I'll do it later on. Let's put this out of the screen. We'll put this on here. So here we're going to put this right here. Now this would be a great pairing. This would be a great pairing with really almost any cigar. That's a great pairing with any cigar. Let me show you how beautiful, nice and rich this is. It's a little bit expensive for some of you. Pretty expensive for some of you. You're looking at 100, maybe 160 bucks at times. 160 bucks. I've seen places that have this for like 200 and something. So if you do find one of these, remember, nice finishes are great with sticks. So let's start by doing this. And for all of you watching, please do me a favor. I know some of you forget. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't. Tap that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, here we go. We're going to start to torch this up. Here we go. Let's start torching this up. We have it lit up. I'm going to take my first puff for all of you watching. Let's put up a little glass over here before we start doing anything. Here's our beautiful glass. Going to be using this beautiful thing. And then we might make a cocktail. So here we go. First puff, first puff. This is the virgin puff. Yes, the virgin puff. Here we go. Cheers, all of you. Happy Monday to all of you. Here we go. I'm going to say this, the first puff, it's pretty good. First puff is pretty good. It's going to be very light, the first puff. A lot of sweetness I'm getting. I'm getting a sweetness, almost like a sweet wood. A little bit of cedar on here. And for some of you watching, here we go. I do tell you that the first puff will be something that you're probably just going to experience for a little bit ahead of time. I'm going to tell you that, okay? Here we go. Let's go again. Now it's starting. Now it's starting. Still a little bit of sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of white pepper. One of the main things with Cohiba, you tend to get often with Cohiba is you tend to get there's almost like a peppery, like a white peppery note that usually creeps up on you. Be careful with some of the Cohibas. If you ever do get one of these, there's going to be a strong peppery note usually. I remember all of the Cohibas that I've had. They start to creep up on you. But the blue one definitely has just a tad bit of white pepper. I do get a little bit of sweetness at the beginning of the cigar, and the beginning of the stick is actually, it's pretty good. You have to be careful when you do some of these. If you're new, right? If you're new, let me say this ahead of time. If you're new, please do me a favor. Make sure to have a full meal. Make sure to have a full meal because this is no joke, okay? These guys, they will creep up on you. They will creep up on you. Make sure to have a good meal. All right? If we have a lot of people watching, do me a favor, hit that like button, tap the screen. If you're watching right now, tap the screen. If you're watching over here in the corner, 3 little dots. And over here, you can subscribe. Here we go. Don't forget, you can comment in the chat room. Here we go. I'm getting a little bit of, compared to some of the other cigars that we've done recently on, I think the last couple weeks, this does have an intense starts little, but it starts getting more intense as I start getting closer to the middle. I'm getting a lot of white pepper. I'm also getting an earthiness. I'm getting earthiness on this stick, a little bit earthy, and you already heard what I meant when I meant earthy. It's almost like almost gives me like a woody, almost gives you a very barnyard kind of aroma. But it's perfect. It's perfect to compare it with the Garrison Brothers because Garrison Brothers has something like that, right? It's a beautiful. At the end of the day, it's a beautiful construction so far. Most of the time with these sticks, you never have bad construction. Here we go. This is really, it's really nice. Now, for the price that you're paying for this, expect not to be over. Oh, I'm going to say this. Expect not to be over the moon with this, okay? It is a beautiful presentation. You're paying a certain price for this. Most of these are inexpensive. Don't be over the moon with any of these. I'm going to tell you off the bat, don't be over the moon. They do have basic notes on here, and that's why I tell you, you have to pair it up with something. That white pepper will creep up on you. It's starting to creep up on me a little bit. I'm starting to taste it. Mainly on my palate, which is really nice. And here we go. Let's start adding a beautiful pairing. Here we go. Let's drink this up. That Guadalupe, oof. If there's one whiskey right here that I can recommend, that Guadalupe is perfect. It gives it a little bit of extra character. This stick, this has a little bit of fruity notes on here, a little bit rich also, very rich. Almost has a syrupy, almost fruity note on here that complements this very well. Complements this very well. Right now, currently, I'm going to say this. For any of you that have the money, buy yourself one of these. This is a great pairing. So far, this is a great pairing. This over here with that, oof, you're going to be spending more money on the whiskey, obviously, than this. But this is, well, the two pairings are just perfect. Here we go. Construction's getting good, and again, when the construction starts happening, most of the time you have a little bit of mess up at the beginning. No big deal. So far, the construction's very good on this. Review so far is going pretty good. I'm not getting as many notes as most of you might think. Again, this is not an expensive stick. Many of you will be able to get it. It's very nice. It's very simple. And right now, we're going to start creeping up on the middle. Once we start creeping on the middle, I'm going to start to get more enhanced notes on this stick. But this does complement this very well. Here we go. Let's drink this up. I gotta be the best. Wow. That gotta be the best. One of the best pairings I ever paired with a stick. That right there is, whew, that right there. Let me just say that. That right there, that makes this perfect. This right here, I should bring out a brand new bottle. I have a brand new bottle inside, maybe pop it open. That right there. I'm gonna say there's no other Garrison Brothers I would recommend with this pairing. Only this one. Personally, would say only this one. There's one other one that's called the Honeydew. It's yellow, but it's hard to find now. I would personally recommend you to pay the extra dollars. It's $100 and some dollars, so barely. If you guys don't have the money, would recommend this. Now I'm going to say this. There's a reason why I didn't put Buffalo Trace on here. There's a reason why I didn't put Buffalo Trace on here. Personally, you want something to complement this. Okay, this does get a little bit boring at the beginning. It will be a little bit boring at the beginning. I'm going to say this ahead of time. It will be a tad bit boring at the beginning. That's why we got to pair this with something crazy. A little bit of finish, a good rye, and then there's a cocktail that I can make. Here we go. Very nice. I still have the finish on this whiskey in my mouth. Holy Lord. I still have the finish on the whiskey in my mouth. It's a perfect pairing, actually. I don't think there's anything that's going to be better than that. This is a perfect pairing, and I could just take out another bottle, pop it open, and just keep on with the stream. But I think we have to compare, right? We have to go to other ones. Let's drink this up. It also has a grape. It has like a grape, almost like plummy, almost hay, almost like a maple syrup. This is a great pairing. I'm gonna say this: do not put ice. I know many of you that smoke sticks. You like to put ice. Okay, if you're smoking one of these, if you're doing one of these, if you're buying one of these, obviously, if you're buying one of these, do not. I'm gonna say, I'll repeat, do not. Do not get an ice glass and put this in there and put ice. Don't do that. You're going to enhance the flavors on the pepper that you have. You have white pepper on this stick. You're going to enhance the flavors, and it's going to ruin your whiskey, right? It's going to ruin your whiskey. That's why I'm drinking this one. That's why I'm drinking this one in a beautiful Glencairn. This right here is probably, I couldn't believe that this is such a good pairing. Look over here. Construction a little bit bad here now. That's okay. What you're going to do, I'm going to show you what to do. Real beautiful. Now for all of you, don't forget to tap the screen, get that like, hit that like if you have it. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Man. Beautiful. Construction is still good. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to say this. Still a little bit boring. Do I recommend this? So far, you honestly, you can't really go wrong with something. If you realize, if you're not paying $50 for this, if you're not paying $60, if you're not paying $30 for this, personally, so far right now, it's decent. We're gonna start getting to the middle. I'm not even done with a third of this. I'm not even done with a third of this. But right now, the star of the show with this whiskey. This whiskey was this combo. I even want to pour in some more. Huge shout outs to Texas. Shout outs to Texas. I believe Ira Soto's from Texas in the chat room. Shout outs to Texas. We have other Texas members that are watching. People from Texas. I see you. You guys are amazing. Garrison Brothers. Man. It is really nice. I'm going to say not every Garrison Brothers is going to go with this. Okay, there you go. It just came off. You see, that's good. It came off. That's good. Not every Garrison Brothers. The Cowboy. Would I recommend the Cowboy with this? No. Would I recommend your cheapest Garrison Brothers with this? No. I would only recommend two. Bomberay, yes. They call it Bomberay or Dub Bomberay, or the Guadalupe. Here we go. Let's do this here. Right now, mainly woody, earthy, and white pepper. I'm going to say the white pepper is sticking to my cheeks, my tongue getting hit a little bit. The woody note that I'm getting, it's still a little bit sweet. But at the beginning, one of the best things that I can say, at the beginning, it is going to be a little bit sweet. Okay, so the woody note is going to be just a tad bit sweet. And then it just starts falling out. Once you start getting to the middle, which I'm pretty familiar with this one. Once you start getting to the middle of the stick, you're going to lose some of that sweetness. Here we go. Let's go again. I'm starting to detect a little bit of something extra. Before I do something extra, we're gonna drink something else, right? We're gonna drink something else. So we had this. I'm gonna probably use. I was probably gonna use this, but over here I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Satisfied. Satisfied is getting a gift from me. He's gonna get one of the Reaper exclusives. He should be getting it Thursday. For any of you that drop a beautiful red super chat. If you drop a red super chat on the show, and you're a member, you have to be a member. You will be able to enjoy what I enjoy every morning, usually, and every week. There's two things that I can say. My inspiration came from Michael Jordan. My inspiration came from Monte Cristo. And my main inspiration came, really, at the end of the day, I love men's fashion. I can't see myself doing anything else but men's or ladies' fashion, right? Not ladies' fashion, but you know what I mean. To give you guys good things. So we're gonna drink a different. By the way, what would be ladies' fashion on the stream? Ladies' fashion would be like this. Here we go, ladies. This would be women's fashion, right? Beautiful. You can have this in your kitchen. I have this in my bar. It's a beautiful thing. I mainly use the whiskey inside for cocktails. Mainly, I use it for cocktails. Remember that, okay? Use it only for cocktails, or if you have a party you have to do, you can also fill this up. Beautiful tops. Look at these tops, man. Beautiful. Don't forget, most of those have lead, so be careful. Anyways, here we go. Cohiba, so far, how is it? It's decent. But it's starting to get a little bit better, right? A little bit better getting in the middle. Okay, what whiskey are we gonna do now? Mid-Cur's 10-year is gonna be a good one to use. We're gonna use this one. Let's use this one. Let's pop this open. Let's use this. Iris Soto, good to see Iris Soto. Let me start by saying you will get a little bit almost for this Cohiba Blue. You will get a strong in the air when you're smelling it. Say you're next to somebody. The only way to know the difference between this one and maybe some other ones, usually, let me explain to you something. Dominican fillers, I'm going to say this again. Let me repeat one more time. Dominican fillers have a perfumey smell to them. This one has a Dominican, right? Dominican Republic filler. So that means the inside has Dominican leaves. What does that mean? Usually, when you're having a stick that has a Dominican influence, you get a very, very perfumey kind of a stick. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. Some people next to you are gonna say, "Man, very strong." Most of the time they're gonna say very strong. But personally, to me, this is not very strong, but it's very perfumey. If you're around here, you can really smell it. Here we go. And it's mainly with the Dominican Republic tobacco, right? Dominican sticks. That's when you can really find those perfumey, very like just hanging around here, you can sense it very strong, but it's not really strong, obviously, right? Just a smell, right? It's very strong. So that's another note for some of you that maybe don't know about Cohiba Blue, or maybe even just Dominican Republic fillers, right? Against fillers are inside, the outside is the wrapper, right? The binder on this one, the binder on this one is Honduras too. But the filler is the main thing that you'll have that smell. Most of the flavor also comes from, the sweetness is coming from the wrapper. Anything that I taste sweet will be coming from the wrapper itself. Here we go. Let's pair this up with this. Oof. Beautiful. This is actually bringing out that earthiness on that stick. This is a 10-year-old, yes? 10-year-old straight rye from Kentucky. This is mid-curds. It's very hard to find bottle, but I'm going to say this. The best part of this compared to this one, let me explain to you both of them. This one's a little bit higher proof. This does taste like 110, 115. It's 107 proof. And then this one over here, very low proof, but you could taste it, right? This one's 92.8 proof. 92.8 proof. You could taste a little bit of that rye spice. It has a sweetness that complements this very well. It has like a creme de brulee kind of a sweetness. Not only does it have a creme de brulee kind of a sweetness, it does complement this a little bit too well. But still, again, the winner right now is Garrison Brothers. For the comparison, right now for the comparison on both of these, right now the winner is currently Garrison Brothers winning with this Cohiba Blue. I'm starting to get now close to the middle of the stick, and I'm actually getting a little bit of different notes, just a tad bit of notes. I'm getting a little bit of a, almost like a trail mix kind of a nuts, a little bit of trail mix nuts, still complementing that white pepper note, but now it's really you could kind of taste it. And not only that, no, there's really almost no sweetness now. Now it's straight up woody, earthy, and now you're gonna add a little bit, almost like a trail mix. If you guys ever had a trail mix, you ever been to a campfire, you ever had somebody give you a bag, well, it has a little bit of that, a little bit of nuttiness, starting to build up on here. So far, the construction isn't that good. It's okay. It's not that good. Look, it's all right. It's falling off, but again, this is a Robusto, a little bit smaller stick. Here we go. Let's pound this over here. Boom. Here we go. It's getting a little bit salty. Oof. Those are not the words you want to hear in a review. It's getting a little bit salty. It gets a little bit of nuts almost. A little bit salty, a little bit nut, a little bit trail mix action. I'm gonna say this. The pepper is really still there. White pepper. Don't expect it to be like black pepper or chili or none of that. This is a little bit. This is getting there. This is. I gotta calm down with that. It has a lot. Enhance the amount now. Oof. A lot of mixed trail mix bag. The white pepper, the pepperness is increasing. Let me drink this up. Let's see. Oof. Man, this stick is really, it's starting to tune up a little bit. Ooh, it's starting to tune up a little bit. I think we're going to have to make a cocktail. For all of you watching, we're probably going to make a cocktail right now because I need something. I need something to complement this and a little bit more sweeter. The sweetness is almost literally gone. Almost literally gone. Almost literally gone. Here we go. Oof. It's getting nice. Now it's really getting manly. For some of you ladies, if you have this is for the ladies. If some of you ladies have this, you'll like the beginning of the stick. Now it's starting to be a real Dominican. It's starting to be a real Dominican stick. This is getting very strong. Very strong. I'm gonna say this, very strong. No has changed. Everything is almost staying the same. Sweetness is gone. I'm getting trail mix kind of a nut. I'm also getting just a tad bit more. I'm getting a tad bit more of the pepper. The pepper is starting to enhance a little bit more. I'm also getting oak. I'm getting oak a little bit. It could be the whiskey, but I don't think it's the whiskey. I'm getting a little bit of oak, and woodiness is still there. Here we go. We're gonna make a cocktail because I need a cocktail with this. This is starting to enhance, and get very strong. This is not very strong, but you could tell that it does have a little bit. It needs a little bit of help of something. So what I'm gonna do is, this is what we're gonna do. I want to make a cocktail. And to make a cocktail, first off, to make a cocktail, we have to move this aside. So let's start moving this aside. Let's move this aside. To make a cocktail, we have this going. We're going to get a glass, beautiful glass. Let's complement this perfectly. Let's get a glass. I'm going to make a simple cocktail. Nothing crazy. Let's put this over here. Boom. Let's put some of the stuff that I need to get. And the whiskey I'm going to use to show you. Whew. I need some sweet. I'm going to get some sweet. So you guys know lately I've been doing my favorite. Right now, currently one of my favorite cocktails is the whiskey sour. So to make a whiskey sour, you need a couple things. One, you need lemon. Two, you need a whiskey. Three, you need simple syrup. Four, you need, what else? What else you need? Ice, you need ice, and then you need an egg. We're gonna put an egg on here. Ooh, this egg's good. Here we go, let's put an egg on here. You need an egg, a lemon, you need this, 2 ounces of whiskey, right? Okay, let's start doing a simple syrup and everything, huh? First, let's do the hard part first. Hard part first. First, you're gonna need 2 ounces of your favorite whiskey. And what I wanna use is, I'm not gonna use anything on here. I want to make it easy. I want to make it easy. So I'm going to be using Old Forester 100 proof. Let's do 2 ounces. Let's do 2 ounces. Let's do simple syrup. We're going to use half an ounce. I'm just going to use the whole lemon. Let's use the whole lemon. While we're doing this, I'm just going to puff it up. Okay, let's cut this up. Now, it's easier to did that. Hardest part is really to do the. And we're gonna just shake it, okay? You're not gonna put eyes yet. Just shake it up. About 10 seconds should be good. It's gonna start spewing out of here, so just about 10 seconds. You get it nice and foamy. That should be good. Oof, should be good. Man, I got a cramp. I didn't do my morning routine today. I need to have some bananas. Getting a cramp, oof. Most gentlemen usually get cramps, right? One of the worst cramps you can get is the one in the back of your thigh. If you get a cramp on your leg, it's even worse. But the ones in your feet, oof, they curl up your feet. Your feet start curling up, oof. Got a tad bit of a cramp, but once it's small, it explodes. You gotta walk it off. You gotta walk like a mile. I think I walked a mile. Here we go. It's good enough. Okay. Main thing now. We're gonna be putting ice. Main thing. You gotta put ice. Oof. I gotta walk this out. Oof. Oof, I'm still walking. I'm still walking. Okay, we're gonna put some eyes on here. Oof, I got a huge cramp. Can't get it out of me. Oof, wait a minute. Let me start doing some jumping jacks. Some dang. Oof. This is no bueno, man. Get some cramps. Okay, anyways, here we go. Put some eyes on here. And now it's time to shake it around. Here we go. Oof. Now I'm gonna have to walk through this. Oof. Oof. Man. I think I'm gonna go to the ER right now. This cramp is gonna keep my. I'm be stuck for life. Oof. My foot is gonna be stuck for life, crooked. Damn. Okay, let me shake this up a little more. About 20 seconds on here, okay? About 20 seconds. Ooh, I gotta walk it out. I don't walk it out. I'm gonna be like that skeleton in 8th grade. Like that skeleton in 8th grade that was in front, where the foot was a little bit crooked, where the head was sideways and the jaw was sideways too. Couldn't put it back. Teacher never cared. Here we go. We're gonna pour this. This should be ready to go. Oof. Man, here we go. First is first. Get yourself one of these. This is really, really good. Really, really good. Here we go. It's supposed to be nice and foamy. So far, no foam. I think the only foam we got here is what's coming out of my mouth. Man, this cramp is killing. All right, here we go. Let's drink this up. I need some vitamins. Here we go. Lemon, lemon, lemon. Beautiful lemon. Simple syrup. Ice. 2 ounces of Old Forester 100 proof. And what else? Egg. Here we go. It tastes like I'm eating a banana. I don't know, mentally, I'm mentally, tastes like a banana shake to me. I'm thinking about the morning routine. Here we go, let's drink this up. Man, that's good. Okay, let's see how this pairs. Let's see how this pairs. Let's see how this pairs with this Cohiba. Okay, here, lesson learned from some of you. If it turns off, okay, if it turns off, this is all you have to do. You see the leftover ash? Leftover ash on the side of wherever you got to put it, on the side. Do not push down. Just twist. You go twist it, nice and twisted, right? Now all you're gonna do is you're gonna light it up. You don't have good. Now you're gonna light it up. Good to go. Now we're back. We're back to it. I want to say this. This is preferably my recommendation. My recommendation. Put this with a cocktail. A whiskey cocktail is really good. Nice. This is I'm gonna say this. Right now I'm getting more sweetness out of this cocktail, and it's combining beautifully. This is a whiskey sour for all of you. Whiskey sour is beautiful. And whiskey sour goes really good with this. Oh, ooh, that is a good combo. Whiskey sour. You have that citrus. That citrus with that lemon. Got a little bit of sweetness on that cocktail. And this makes this really good. Matter of fact, that with this tastes like banana, or maybe mentally I'm thinking about banana. Holy Lord. My cramp, man. I'm telling you, my cramp is crazy. Here we go. It's getting a little bit salty. A little bit salty, a little bit nutty. A little bit salty and nutty. Some of you ladies know what that means. Personally, the only thing I could compare that to is trail mix. Trail mix has a little bit of nutty saltiness, and with this, it makes it a little bit sweet. This cigar, really, this stick, I'm gonna say it's ahead of time. So far, the review is going really good. The Cohiba Blue, so far, pretty good. Is this the most craziest stick you'll ever have in your life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it's a great experience for some of you that are new. Here we go. Let's drink this up. It complements this really good. Now, for some of you that have tequila, if any of you have tequila, Satisfied in the chat room, shout out to Satisfied. I'm going to give a shout out to the chat room. Forum Kitty, Iris Soto, Satisfied. We also have other members that showed up, I believe, in the chat room earlier. Shout out to anybody out here. I believe Jesse was here earlier. Good to see some of you. Remember, don't forget memberships. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. If you have any questions, don't forget you can always send a super chat. Here we go. Drink us up. So far, this whiskey, I would prefer this whiskey with maybe something else. Preferably. Maybe with a different stick. It's still good with this stick. This one is complimentary. Really good. Over here, Satisfied. Satisfied likes tequilas. He likes tequilas a lot. Shout out to Satisfied. I would recommend him to make a tequila cocktail. A tequila cocktail with this would be really, I would prefer it meanly for some of you that are into tequilas. Here we go. So far, so good. I'm going to take off the band very soon, but it is getting salty. It is getting a little bit saltier. At the beginning, we had the sweetness, and now on the second half, on the half of it, right? On the second half of this cigar, this stick, a little bit salty, which is actually good. It complements this pretty nice. So here we go, let's drink this up. Big thing I have to say, though. Big thing I have to say. Any of you that are looking into getting this as a present, or maybe some of you want to really try this out first time. Maybe it's your first stick ever. Have a full meal. Let me repeat again. Have a full meal. Don't have no cheeseburger or anything like that. No. Have a good full meal. Carbs and protein. Make sure your stomach is pretty full. Make sure your stomach is pretty full. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it with this. You're gonna need it with this bad boy. Make sure your stomach is full. Make sure your stomach is full. I'm gonna take off the band now. For all of you, so far, Cohiba Blue. Another thing also, it does have a strong amount of pepper now. Strong amount of pepper. Oof. Even in the retro hell. The retro hell you could taste that it's getting very strong. Now it's not as strong as the Opus X that we had today. When you get to the end, it's not as strong as that. It's also not as strong as the Arturo Fuente Eye of the Shark that we had today. It's not as strong as that either. You can go check out the review on those that we did recently. It's not as strong as those. It's almost like, how can I compare this? Remember, there's no chili or anything in here. If you go to Taco Bell, which I don't recommend any of you to go to Taco Bell, but I think there's 3 different hot sauces. The mild, the Diablo, I believe it's called. No, there's the mild, the hot, and the Diablo. This is like a mild. To me, the amount of pepper that I'm getting on here is almost mild to strong. It's not like full Diablo, right? That's the only thing I can compare this to. So for some of you that don't know, I know you're tuning in here because you're trying to see some of the reviews from some of these. If they go, it's very much almost in the middle to almost beginner status. Almost beginner status in the middle. Here we go. And somebody corrected me. Diablo, mild, hot, and fire. Oof. I don't even think I remember that there was 4 of them. I only know 3 of them. At Taco Bell, there's I think it's called mild. I think it's a hot. And then there's Diablo. I only remember 3 of them. I didn't know there was 4. You can tell I don't really care about some of those spices, but I do know that this is not Diablo status. This is not full pepper, if I'm trying to explain to you correctly. Okay, full pepper. Again, please have a cocktail. And also, for some of you that are new that just walked in here, hit that like button. Hit that like button if you like the stream so far. Tap the screen if you haven't already. Tap the screen. If you like this, if you like the stream, tap the screen. Let's get those likes. Don't forget, short videos are posted up on the daily. I'm gonna put some more short videos later on. Here we go. I'm going to take off the band right now. One more puff, I'm going to take off the band. Oof. Somebody in the chat room, oof. Somebody in the chat room, oof. Somebody in the chat room. Somebody in the chat room. Oof. Somebody in the chat room. Somebody in the chat room. I was trying to find a photo of. I was trying to find a photo of Mr. I was trying to find a photo of. I was trying to find a photo of J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance. You know where I was going on that one. Here we go. We're gonna take off the band now. Some of you don't know what I was going for. Well, you should have been watching a couple of streams ago. Yes. J.D. Vance. Did you say thanks in this whole meeting once? Remember that part? Oof. Never forget it. Let's take the band off. This is why some of us don't take off the band. Okay, the band over here usually has a little bit of glue. This is not regular Gorilla Glue. This is glue made out of yucca. Yes, glue made out of yucca. And we're gonna put this right over here. We're gonna put this right over here. That Cohiba band. Okay, here we go. Full notes right now that I'm getting saltiness. Almost a nutty, salty trail mix kind of a note. It's it's starting to be more perfumey as you can smell it. You still have that earthiness on here that it's really tuned down a lot. Has a little bit of earthiness on here. And also, you do have almost like a woody, like a little bit of woody aspect that goes along with that earthy note. But the one thing that stands out automatically right now, saltiness on this wrapper. There's a saltiness on this wrapper that I can tell, that you can see. It's almost only saltiness, and nuttiness on here is very tuned. Beautiful so far, really good, and it's going really good. Look at this. By the way, if you can see the wrapper, it came off a little bit. You see this? That's okay, no problem. It will happen if you take off the bands, any band of any stick, make sure. Good to see Richie Z. If you didn't know Richie Z in the chat room, Richie Z, get that membership, Richie Z. He's part of the whiskey community. He's a big mod and a lot of channels. Here we go. Really nice. Again, really nice. Comparable to some of those sticks. There's really honestly no comparison. This is almost like a rookie kind of a stick. This is almost like a newbie kind of stick again, I could say. This is not definitely anybody that wants a decent stick like this. You'll probably, if you're a newbie, you'll enjoy the first part of the stick. But after the first part of the stick, especially the first third, for a newbie, they're gonna like it. Once you start getting to the back of this stick, it's gonna be more. I think more of the intermediate enthusiasts are really gonna like more of the back end of the cigar. It's getting a little bit more stronger, saltier, oily, and you see the enhancement of that white pepper is just. It's tuning down, but it's still there. It's still there. I think one of the main things on this currently is the filler is really doing good. I think anybody around me would be able to smell this because it is for a little Robusto, it's pretty accurately strong. Here we go. I'm going to say this. I do want to drink this whiskey while I'm doing that, and we're going to also pop another whiskey on here. I want to also compare it with a different whiskey. We're going to compare a little bit of other whiskeys, right? We're going to put the Knob Creek in play. Now, the Knob Creek, last I remember, I don't remember any notes of this. I think the last thing I remember on this one was, I believe it had some fruity notes on here, but I honestly do not remember. If I remember correctly, I think it had apple on here, but I don't remember. Here we go. We're going to finish up the Mitch Kerr's 10-year. Here we go. If you have this by itself, with this, it's going to be good. It's going to be nice and light. Nice and light and good. We're going to put this in our glass. I'm going to drink this before I drink the whole thing of the cocktail. Here we go. Over here, Richie Z. Richie Z knows all his whiskey. This is not the Cowboy. Now, I'm going to say this for any of you that have this stick. Don't pair this up with the Cowboy. Okay, you're gonna have to pair this up with something that has a little bit of finish, a little bit of a poppy, fruity finish. This is officially Orange Top. Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. Okay, this is gonna be the perfect. Out of all the whiskeys we had so far, all of these, boom, boom, boom. This one is the perfect one that goes with this stick. We did it at the beginning of the stream, and so far at the beginning of the stream, it has held up to its name. Garrison Brothers with that finish has a port cast finish. It's really, really nice. I'm going to say this. It's probably recommended for some of you. Definitely. If you do buy that, remember, you're going to have the money to buy that. I know there's a lot of people that they don't buy expensive whiskeys. They buy inexpensive. So this one might not be in your ballpark. Definitely if you're trying to pair it up with a stick. But if you want something for a good price, Knob Creek 10-year, that's going to be a good one, and both of these are basically 10-year. Obviously, you're paying to get what Jim Beam has. This is great, but I don't know how it's going to compare with this. So we're going to do it now. So far, construction is really good. So far, construction is pretty good. I'm also getting a little bit of a minty action. I'm getting close to the end of this. I don't know if it's mentally that I just had a little bit of whiskey or I was thinking about this whiskey. I'm having a little bit of a mint, having a little bit of a mint action. A little bit of mint, almost like peppermint. Here we go. Let's try this out. This is Knob Creek 10-year with this. Here we go. Man, that's good. Now that is one takeaway right now. I would prefer some of you to definitely get this. If you're having this stick, get this one. Don't get this one. Don't use this one unless you already have it. This one, personally, I would recommend this a little bit better on this one. This is really nice. This comparison right now with this. Oof. Getting a little bit minty. Tad bit minty. I have a little mintiness on here. I don't know what it is. Can't be this, right? Can't be this. Here we go. Let's drink this up. The one whiskey that has caramel right now, out of all of them right now, this has almost like a flavorful caramel. It has a good amount of rye, which the rye it complements that white pepper that I have going on here. Oof. It is. Ooh, don't sleep on that Knob Creek 10-year. I'm going to say this. If you're just drinking the Knob Creek 10 year, it's good. Nothing to go crazy for. But this, if you go to a bar, say you go to a cigar lounge, or say you go just anywhere and they have a cigar out there, and at the bars, usually at the bars, they don't have at the bar, I'm going to say this, the bars will not have this. The bars will not have this. Okay, they're not going to have it, okay? If you're going to, like, whatever bar that has the cigars on the side that you could smoke, most of the time they do have these, and sometimes they will have this. And they will have Knob Creek. They have a selection in the bar of Knob Creek. Jim Beam products are always going to be at the bar or even at the restaurants. I would recommend you definitely any Knob Creek, even if it was a 9-year, even if it was a 9-year. Get yourself a Knob Creek with this stick. It goes really, really good. Again, I'm still going through this, and I'm still finding that almost that nutty note. This is really good. I'm going to say anything out there that doesn't have a lot of proofing will go really good. Mainly, let me say this again. Mainly, as I say at the beginning of the stream, if you ever pair any stick, this is why a lot of old folks, yeah, the oldies, the old timers always go to Scotch whiskey. Okay, the reason why they go to Scotch whiskey is because it doesn't overpower the Cohiba. It doesn't overpower the Cohiba or their cigars. And most of the time, the Scotch whiskey usually has about 86 proof or 84 around there. That's the range of most Scotch whiskeys. And so most people that have sticks, they either go with rum, they go with tequila, or they go with Scotch whiskey. It's very rare, unless you're American like me, or it's very rare like other Americans out here that don't know about really all the different bourbons out there. Mainly, the ones that go for American whiskey that's high proof are most of us out here that we're enthusiasts. This doesn't go with a high proof. If you're trying to have an Elijah Craig 128 proof, it's not going to go with this. If you're trying to have a Jack Daniels 132 proof, it's not going to go with this. You're trying to have maybe a Jack Daniels Coy Hill, there's one that's like 130 something, it's not going to go with this. You have to know what pairs up with this. But one thing we can say is cocktail. Goes really good. I'm gonna go back to the cocktail, and also we're gonna nut this out. We're gonna put it right here on the side. What you want to do is just I'm gonna move this so you can see it. What you want to do is on the side, you're not going to push. Don't push down. Do not push down. The people that push down are the ones that don't care about their stick. You're going to put it aside. Here we go. Boom. Like that. Little tilt. Tilt it. You see? Tilt it. You should be good. Shout out to Tony Montana. Tony Soprano. Shout out to Tony Soprano. Here we go. And as soon as you do that, make sure to take a nice little puff. Again, very, very, very easy stick so far. If you're not a beginner, you're not going to like. If you're a beginner, you're not going to like mainly the end. You're going to like mainly the beginning of the Cohiba. Here we go, drink this up. Oof. Oh, you got to have. Ooh. I just came out of that Knob Creek. You definitely need a cocktail, man. I'm gonna say you need a cocktail, preferably bourbon. If not, you can put some rye. I don't recommend you use a cocktail that has a finish. So do I recommend you to put a Garrison Brothers in your cocktail? No. Don't use any expensive whiskey in your cocktail. Okay, it's not gonna make your stick any better. I'm gonna say it's not gonna make your stick any better. I'm not going to make your stick any better. Here we go. It's not going to make your stick any better at all. Let's move this aside here. Boom. Man, that's good. And again, this is the whiskey sour. You can rewind. For some of you that are Just tune in now. You could go rewind or you could watch how I made this. Go check out how I made this. But don't tell any other YouTuber. Richie Z. I know Richie Z is mods for a lot of people. A lot of content on YouTube. Dang. So good. Here we go. So far, so good. So far, so good. Now, let me explain to you something. Oof. Man, that's strong. Getting nice and strong at the end. I use Old Forester 100 proof. If I want to recommend you something, if you go to the restaurant, I did say this the other day also. You go to the restaurant, sometimes they put bullet in your cocktails. Tell them, no. Old Forester 100 proof, do you have it? They're going to say, of course. Always replace any cocktail that has a bullet. Bullet is straight dookie in the house. Straight dookie. Use Old Forester 100 proof. Most of the what do you call it? Most of the restaurants will have it, and most of the cigar lounges will have it. So make sure. Okay, make sure to use that. We're gonna put this over here. Boom. We can see. Looks good. That Old Forester. Got this going. Good. Okay, let's. I'm gonna drink this over here. Let's see, Knob Creek 10-year. I think I'm going to have a little bit of that just by itself over here. That is a good pairing. That is a really good pairing. Man, that's a good pairing. Remember, any of you that have memberships, you can always send a member's message. If you have a membership, you can send a member's message. Don't forget, for all of you, I know there's some members that are watching. They're usually driving or at work. They're watching. Don't forget, you can use it once a month. When you have that membership, you can add it to any stream you want to. That's why I recommend you, Ripper Crew, get that membership if you have it. Anyways, I'm gonna start. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna drink the old elk. Inexpensive. I wanted to put some whiskeys on here that are inexpensive. I want to actually drink this over here. Okay, let's drink this over here. Let's make sure to take out. Let's take this out of the way. I'm gonna use a simple. Now, why am I gonna use a simple one? Because, well, not everybody can afford. Let's say this. Not everybody can afford one of these. There's a lot of people that don't want to spend $160. Understand? There's some people that want to spend $200. They want to have something good, but they don't want to spend $200. They don't want to spend $300. You live once. Sometimes you have to do it right. Make sure not to put in your credit card. Always pay cash. Here we go. Let's put this on here. Let's do Old Forester. This Old Forester you can find anywhere, literally anywhere. This is a big boy. This is a 1.75. I always tell you to get a big one. Don't get the little one. I'm going to take the old elk out of the way because old elk hasn't been on the show, really. I'll put this right here center. You can put this one over here. That's a good look. I can put this right over. Boom. We can put this over here. Looks good. Okay. This is what we do. I'm just going to drink more of this. I'm gonna have to relight that. For some of you, especially if you're outside, You're gonna have to relight your stick. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to relight this. Here we go. Yes, I'm gonna have to relight this. So all you have to do is now there's no ash, all right? Barely any ash. All you're gonna do, watch this. Here we go. That's how simple that is, right? Beautiful, real simple. Still has that saltiness. Matter of fact, it's getting saltier, which is which is actually it's actually nice that I'm going to say that. It's getting saltier. The pepper is super enhanced. It's more enhanced than ever before. Super enhanced. Super enhanced. I'm going to say for a rookie, rookie's not going to like that right now. Here we go. Old Forester, right? Old Forester 100 proof. Let's see how this pairs up. Before this turns off again, I'm going to do one more puff. Salty and oily. Oof. Ooh, I think it's pretty strong. Oof, pretty strong. Here we go. Wow, that's a great pairing. I'm gonna have to take this out of the screen. That right here is a great pairing. That right here is a great pairing. Old Forester, inexpensive. You're looking at under $50 for that bad boy. Under $50. Under $50. That is a good pairing. That is, I think, the first bourbon we had on the stream. Old Forester bourbon, that's the first bourbon we had on the stream. I'm going to say this. I don't recommend Black Label, Red Label, and any of those. If there's any scotch that goes with this, find a scotch that has a lot of stone fruits. If there's a scotch that's smoky, I wouldn't recommend you to have a scotch that's smoky. As long as any scotch that you're having, again, we don't have any scotch over here. I didn't think this was going to pair good with a scotch. But if you have any scotch that has a stone fruit and citrus and maybe a little bit of just a tad bit of peat, not too much peat, I think it would go really good with this. But so far right now, this Old Forester, inexpensive, 100 proof, pretty good, pretty good. Here we go. I'm gonna say this. This is a bourbon, but usually I don't really define. It is a bourbon though, but most of the time, if it has a finish, on here, usually I don't really. I kind of talk about the finish. I don't really talk about how it's a real bourbon, right? Because the finish on here is what really takes over that bourbon. But this one is really good at Guadalupe. Go check that out. But right now, officially, I'm going to say Old Forester 100 proof. Old Forester 100 proof, man. Really nice. Here we go. Let's drink this up. With this stick is really good. Maker's Mark, I wouldn't recommend you. I wouldn't recommend you to use Maker's Mark with this. Anything that has full amount of oak, a lot of oak, I wouldn't recommend you to have it with this. Maker's Mark is one that I wouldn't recommend with this stick. Another Stag, if you're having Stag with this, is a bad idea. What other one? George C. Stag. Even George C. Stag, I wouldn't recommend George C. Anything that's strong. I wouldn't recommend Booker's, any of the Booker's. Oof. If you have a Booker's with this, it's going to overpower the stick. If you're Americans, you know what Booker's is. Don't use a Booker's with this. Elijah Craig's, all of the Elijah Craig's, unless it's a low proof Elijah Craig, barrel proof, I still wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend maybe Elijah Craig toasted barrel. The toasted barrel would be really good. And also have a whiskey out here somewhere. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. I don't have it out here. Matter of fact, this one actually might. This one might actually go good. Oof, this thing is strong. Oof. Wow, it's getting real strong. This one might go good. Anything that has a lot of vanilla might actually go good with this. This is strictly vanilla. This is the Whistle Pig Piggyback Bourbon 100 proof. This one I think will go really good with this. And I do recommend you, if you do get the Whistle Pig, the Piggyback, try to use that one for a cocktail. It enhances the vanilla notes because that has strictly vanilla. Here we go. I'm gonna drink this up because you know what? This stick is getting real strong. It's not as strong as the Arturo Fuente we had. It's not as strong as the other stick we had, Opus X that we had. Man, it's starting to taste a little bit toasty, just a tidbit toasty. Just a little bit toasty, just a little bit toasty. Get a little bit of a toastiness on here. A little bit of toastiness on here. And also not only toastiness, I'm going to say it's not only toastiness. Oof. Good pairing. Okay, here we go. So far in the stream, what I recommend with this stick, what I recommend, good nice cocktails, good, real approachable. Try to use anything that has citrus. I personally don't I don't know if it's gonna go good with a Manhattan, but with the whiskey sour would be really good. Now, if you're using old fashioned maybe. But I'm going to say this. This one over here would be good. And the other Garrison brothers that I think I have to show it, right? Because we're doing Cohiba. Let me show it real quick. These would be the ones that I would recommend you to use with this stick. I didn't take both of these out, but these are the ones I do recommend, and they're pretty pricey. So for some of you, I'd tell you really I would tell you the Guadalupe would be the number one. Over here would be, this has a sweetness. It gives it a little bit of extra honey action on here, and it does. It's just beautiful. For some of you that like cognac, this has a cognac finish, so you're going to get beautiful sweetness on here. Expensive. Another one. There's the one that I was talking about earlier. This one would be really good. This would be really good with this one. Okay, really, really good with this one. Those are the three Garrison Brothers I would recommend. I personally don't recommend any of the other ones. The Swats, any single barrel, any high proof, I wouldn't recommend. The highest proof on here would be this one. You're going to get a little bit of almost like chocolate notes out of here that will complement this stick. Those are the three that I do recommend you to definitely get. If you cannot find this one, which is a little bit hard to find, you can use any three of them. But the other ones I personally don't recommend. The other ones are great. The Cowboy is great. The high proof single barrels are great. The barrel proofs are great. But I personally don't recommend it with this. I don't recommend it with this Cohiba. I want to drink a little bit of this, but you know what? I've already drank some of the other ones. The main part of the show was when I showed you, and there's one thing I have to show you, right? One thing I have to show you. On the stream, I officially put something on the stream, right? I put something on the thumbnail. And for some of you are pretty surprised that I didn't put it. And for Edgar Romeo, if Edgar Romeo's watching, some of you are pretty surprised that I didn't put it. I'm going to put it on the screen now. I just wanted to keep it all the way to the end because there's a reason why. You're going to see why now. The reason why I put this one at the end of the stream is because it's the cheapest. It's the cheapest. Shout out to Edgar Romeo. Shout out to Edgar Romeo. Okay, I don't like to show this company at all. Never like to show this company. Okay, never like to show this company, but I'm going to say this. Shout out to April in the chat room. This one over here is Penelope Weeded. Penelope Weeded, okay? Some of you probably asking, why wouldn't you have showed it at the beginning? There's a reason why. We went out to drink some of the other ones. Some of the other ones are a little bit hard to find. Not only were there some of them a little bit hard to find, I must also say, this is literally under 40. Under 40. I don't want to show this at the beginning of the stream. It's just, I don't know. I just don't want to see this at the beginning of the stream. You know what I mean? If I'm watching, I just don't want to see it. Here goes, drink this up. So, I'm going to drink the rest of this. Old Forester. Oof. Oof. That Old Forester. Oof. That Old Forester. That's no joke, that Old Forester. For the price, oof. For the price, is really good. Now, here we go. I'm going to pour under, it's a 33, I think it's a $34 whiskey. Don't like to show this. But here we go. We put it on the thumbnail. You've been waiting for this. Some of you have been waiting. Some of you have been waiting. Here we go. Man, nobody was waiting. Quit lying. I wouldn't be waiting for this. There's people out here that want to see what I say about the Penelope. And here we go. Penelope with this. Oof. Let's see. One of not every state is getting this. Apparently, is Penelope the weeded rye. This is a straight bourbon whiskey, weeded. I'm gonna say this: non-chill filtered, 47.5% ABV. And again, I'm gonna say this: this is really, really nice. Really, really nice. Whenever you see anything weeded, you get a little bit of fruits. And I do get a little bit of fruits on here, and also I get a little bit of honey on there that I actually like. It goes pretty good with any part of your day. Hot, sunny, hurricane, tornado, you name it. I'm going to drink the rest of this. Let's try it out with this. Let's try it out with this Penelope. Cheers, all of you. Cheers, all of you. It's outstanding. That pairing is outstanding. Oof, that pairing. That pairing is outstanding. Oof. That pairing is really good with this stick. Farm Kitty, good to see Farm Kitty chat room. If you comment in the chat room, I'll give you a shout out right now. On the stream. Monday. Penelope officially. It's a great pairing so far with this. I'm going to light this up one more time. Let's put this sideways. Boom. Getting to the end of the stick. I'm down to the nub. Edgar Romeo, satisfied. Here we go. I'm down to the nub. Here we go for some of you. This Cohiba has held its own. I haven't had to end the stream like I usually do. Sometimes, last 2 times that I did it, really, they were so strong. I got to almost to the end. I almost got to the end of the nub. And it was getting stronger and stronger. I need some coffee. Because at the end of the day, remember, we're doing a show. I'm trying to give you as much of a review that I can. The last two that we did really, they were getting very, very strong. At this point, I wouldn't have been able, for the last two, I wouldn't have been able to do the rest of this unless I had a little bit of coffee on the side, a little bit of sugar or coffee. And at the time, I didn't have it. So I'm going to say that for all of you watching, I could take this all the way. This is not as strong as you might think. But if you're a newbie, this might be actually very, very strong for you at the nub. So, here we go. I'm going to pair this up with a Penelope. Weeded. Here we go. Monday. Here we go. Let's drink this up. Penelope Weeded. Here we go. This is a perfect whiskey to actually have with this. It brightens up. This is a man. This is freaking good. This is really good. It goes good with this strong white pepper, with this strong saltiness that I'm starting to get. I'm also starting to get almost like oak char on here. I'm getting a little bit of fruity notes on here, which is really nice with this Penelope. It makes this stick really, really, it makes it stick a little bit unique now. A little bit unique now with the fruitiness. I'm going to say this for all of you. I know some of you can't find this at the stores. There's some states that don't have this, and I understand that some of you having issues trying to find this bottle. This is Penelope the Weeded. This is officially non-chilled filtered, 47.5% ABV. And I'm going to say this on the stream. We talked about the Old Forester. We also talked about the Knob Creek. Fantastic. We talked about the Garrison brothers. I told you how these two Garrison brothers would be great too. But we mainly focus on this one that has a nice port finish. Which the port finish is supposed to give you that strong fruit, and it does give you that strong fruit, almost maple syrup and fruit. Very nice. Don't recommend you put that in ice. But out of everything right now, the Old Forester you just saw hit the mark. And this one gives it brines up this stick. Brines up this stick. You guys have officially a couple, maybe not even a couple, you have a lot of different recommendations. You have a lot of different recommendations. Yes, 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 yes. You have a lot of different recommendations that you can have with this stick. And if you guys want to age any of your Cohibas, make sure if you're aging your Cohibas, open your stick, open it up, take it out, put it in your humidor. That is the only way you can age any of your Cohibas that are in the tubes, because they will not age. They will not age at all. They will not age at all in the tube. Again, what did I say at the beginning? If you have a tube, the main function of a tube is to protect your cigar, but it's supposed to protect the flavors from the batch or the year that you got it from. So if you have this and you bought this in 2025, every year it's going to be a little bit tad bit different. Why is it going to be a little bit tad bit different? Because at the end of the day, just like whiskeys, this is why I need the people in the whiskey community to wake the hell up. There's a lot of people complaining about whiskeys. A ton of people, the nerds, they're complaining about whiskeys. Mainly, the reason why they're complaining is because most of them, they're having to pay a crazy amount of money. For example, just a random example, because I have an example here. For example, this one, Hannah McKenna. Why isn't the Hannah McKenna every year consistent? They're not consistent. There's a reason why. And if you think they're using a different recipe, they're not using a different recipe. They're using the same thing. So for any YouTuber that you see, anybody in the whiskey community that's a nerd or a geek, they're going to be complaining about the prices and everything, and what some of the bottles out here that don't taste like they used to 10 years ago. There's a reason why, and it's simple. It's simple. Okay, the reason why, and I'm gonna say it too. I think there's a YouTuber that posted it up, and he said, there's a YouTuber that posted it up, and he said, the whiskeys nowadays don't taste like they did 10 years ago. Of course, my man. Of course they're not going to taste like they would taste 10 years ago. Do you know the temperature that I get here in Miami in 2025? In 2024, it's different. In 2015, it wasn't this hot. In Kentucky, the temperatures in Kentucky are changing. Every year in Kentucky, they change. Also, that goes with every state. I don't think it's just Kentucky. Every state, every place. I'm gonna say this, Texas. Texas. Huge shout outs to Texas. Only reason why you get some of these Texas whiskeys that taste so good is because they re-barrel it to a different barrel. That's no other reason why. They do that mainly in Texas. That's what they do. Why do they do that? Well, some of their whiskeys are a little bit hot, and it's very hot in Texas. So for anybody that's complaining on YouTube, you're watching a YouTuber and you're saying, "Oof, the whiskeys in the past aren't the same. They used to be so good. Now Buffalo Trace has to put out Sasquatch, big time Sasquatch." I'm gonna just say this right now. Okay? Reason why some of the whiskeys are going to taste a little bit different. Temperature in every city, every state is going to be different. It's just what it is. And the same thing goes with sticks. Same thing goes with cigars. The reason why they go mainly by batches on years is because the sun hits differently every year. Your leaf is not going to taste the same as maybe it did last year. And that goes with every company, right? In the tobacco industry, every company. So for all of you that are complaining about the taste and flavors of the bourbons, maybe you should figure out the past is the past. We're living in the future. That's just what it is. For some of you watching, this is a great, nice intro. It's a nice little intro to maybe somebody out there that wants to give it to maybe your boss, a gift to somebody. Now, find a review on this. It's not expensive, easy to find. It's not anything. It's not a banger. It's not a 10 out of 10. but it's acceptable. I'm going to say it's acceptable. It's a good, decent stick. If you want a good, decent stick, it's a decent stick. It's nothing crazy, nothing overwhelming. But I will say, there will be rookies out there that will love the beginning of the stick. They're going to love the beginning of the stick, and at the end of the stick, it might be a little bit strong. Might be a little bit strong. Might be just a tad bit strong for a lot of rookies. I can take this all the way to the end. I actually do want to. Oof, that's nice. Anyways, for all of you watching, huge shout out to all of you that have been watching on a Monday. Tomorrow we're going to be cooking up something beautiful. Here, let's drink us up. Oof. That's nice. Tomorrow we are officially going to be cooking up something really, really nice. We're going to cook something real nice. What am I going to cook up? You'll see. You'll see, definitely, you'll see. For all of you watching, make sure to get a good glass with your cocktail. Use a good, nice Glencairn. Use a good, nice Glencairn with your whiskey when you're drinking up your whiskey and you're having a good pairing. Pairing whiskey with the Cohiba. You saw, you learned, and I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. Depends on your palate, I'm going to say. I think all of you. All of you definitely would like this pairing 100%. For all of you watching around the world, here it is. That's a review. For all of you watching, Cohiba. Is this something you want to buy? I think you should definitely, all of you should definitely give it a shot. Give it a shot and see what you like. If you like it, you like it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful presentation. They're not Cubans like they used to be. But at the end of the day, if you like a nice Dominican, if you like a nice Dominican, almost perfumey cigar with a nice Honduran wrapper, nice sweet and salty wrapper, right? A little bit of pepper and not too many notes. You should definitely like this. It's a good stick. It's a decent stick. That is Cohiba Blue. Robusto, for all of you watching, thank you for tuning into this stream. You guys are amazing for tuning in on a Monday. I know Monday's the worst day for some of you. My favorite day of the week is Monday for all of you watching. Don't forget, hit that like button if you haven't. Ripper Cool, you know what time it is. We're number one. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Please do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't. Please, I need it. I'm just joking. I don't need it. For all of you, you guys know what time it is. I show you the good reviews. I show you the good products. And for all you ladies, is this good to give your husband or your boyfriend? I'm going to say this. Yes, it's a nice presentation. Is this a buy? Is it a buy? I definitely think that some of you should give it a shot. Give it a shot and see what you like. It's something I could say pass upon. Give it a shot if you have it. For all of you watching, you guys amazing, satisfied. Shout out to satisfied. And for all of you watching, let me say this, you guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in on today. Today is officially April 21st, 2025. We're going to give a shout out to the USA, shout outs to the USA, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, U.S. Marines, U.S. Air Force, and U.S. Space Force battling the aliens over there in the moon. Shout out to the Space Force. And for Satisfied, don't forget Thursday, if anything Wednesday, you should get your gift. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, okay, if you're a member on this channel, you get a lot of benefits. One of the main benefits on this channel, if you have a membership, you could get a great fragrance. I give you a good discount on a fragrance. You can go to the website, zarhov.com, and you could get a beautiful, beautiful discount. I am not affiliated at all with Zaharov. He's one of our great members and wrench on this channel. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he has a great perfume line. You can go check that out. Zaharov.com, Zaharov.com. And for some of you watching, I know many of you have got the product before. I've done a giveaway to all of you. I do wear it on a weekly basis, but today I am not wearing Zaharov. Today, officially, I'm wearing something else. You can go check that out on Instagram. Go sign up on Instagram, subscribe on Instagram. You can see what I do on a daily basis. I post up stories, and today, I will be posting up the mid-curves. I'm going to post up the mid-curves picture after the stream. So you can go check that out. I'm going to post that up maybe in an hour. I'm going to post that up. I'm going to tell you what I think of that one. I personally think you guys already seen the review. If you didn't see the review, last stream that we did was Saturday. Yesterday was Easter. Happy Easter to all of you. Last stream was Saturday. We did a review of the mid-curves. And you guys can go see that review. For all of you watching, you guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Reaper officially signing out. I'll see you all soon. Tomorrow, Tuesday.